Hey everybody, and hello. Um, uh, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say hello if you're watching this after I've started. Replay watchers, that's the word I was looking for. Hi there if you're watching this on replay. So I wanted to hop in today to do another whiteboard session, debrief, highlight session, highlight reel. This whiteboard session was awesome. It just happened yesterday, and it was with Christine Gritman of Christine Gritman Inc. She is a social media strategist, and truly at the heart of her work, words that she said was, at the heart of her work is connecting awesome people for their mutual benefit. That's really kind of what inspires her and keeps her going. She is an idea powerhouse. She is a visionary. She has so much creative energy constantly kind of coming through her, and she's very much in creation mode and trying to make lots of different things happen. And so our session was really kind of a forest for the trees session, right? She was so deep into all of the different parts that she really wanted to take the time to zoom out and take a look at things from kind of a higher level and see if we could sort them together and put them together in a way that felt a bit more effective, more clear as she continued to take steps on things. So some really good stuff came out of this session. The first part, as is oftentimes the case, is just kind of this period of time to kind of unload, like, all right, it can be really hard sometimes to talk with our friends or our partners or our families about the projects we're working on because we just like, they're just not going to get it. So we tend to hold a lot of things in. So I really like to open up the conversation. Hi, Miranda. To open up the conversation with this, just like, all right, let's just start getting stuff out, kind of unpacking. And that usually ends up on the right side of the whiteboards. Also, my hair is giant today. Oh my God. Whatever. Owning it. Own the big hair. So, let's see. Oh, hi, are you on as me? That's really interesting, Miranda. Did you just say hi to me? Because it's saying that I said hi to me. And I want to make sure. Anyway, okay, I'm going to keep going. So, this first section was really around some of the future things that she wants to work on. She really wants to be a thought leader in her field around marketing and social media and how to connect the right kinds of people. But there were also these shorter term goals that were coming up around her business now, right? So we realized very quickly as she started to unpack all of these things that there were two kind of categories of projects that she's working on and she's dreaming about. The first, and I learned this from one of my teachers, his name is Rich Litvin, and he talks about this distinction between money projects and sexy projects. So money projects are those that are going to bring in the financial resources that you need now to kind of stay afloat, to keep alive, to just keep things running. Sexy projects are those things that that's what really lights you up. It's where you find your inspiration. They tend to be a bit longer term and bigger. And so what we started to do was kind of try and tease apart these different things that she's working on. So some of her sexy projects include these big goals of hosting her own conferences, being a keynote speaker at conferences around social media and growth and marketing. She wants to be invited to be a guest blogger, to be on podcasts, and really to experiment and deepen her understanding of how all of these different systems work and to be able to teach those to other partners in her field. So what we did here in the second kind of really cool, so that was one of the highlights I thought that came out of this, was trying to separate things from what's the sexy projects into what are the money projects, which is on the second board. But a second thing that came out of this that I think could be helpful if you're watching is the power of a really good metaphor. And I am a metaphor person. If you've ever worked with me, we probably have metaphors between us. And the metaphor that came up around this one was around baking. And without getting into too much of the details, what that allowed her to do was kind of talk about her work and where things fit into things from kind of this new, fresh, non-emotional place, right? The cool thing about metaphors is it allows us to take kind of what feels very complicated in our head and simplify it into these little nuggets of wisdom. So down here, we just workshopped how the baking metaphor, being a chef, working with certain ingredients fits into her visions for her work. And at the end, she was like, she just had this really clear moment of like, yeah, I want to be a molecular gastronomist. Like, she wants to just know and focus in on and be an expert at all of these little details of, again, using social media not only to connect people, but also to kind of fuel this spirit of bringing awesome minds together. So we then moved on to the second board, kind of for the second part of our conversation, because aside from these bigger visions that she has and kind of separating them out, we also wanted to get into, well, what could be done this week? Like, what is something that can be actionable in the short term? Because out of these whiteboard sessions is not just, yay, here's some great ideas. It's, well, what do you want to do with it? How is it going to inform your actions that you take in the coming week? So that brought us to our second board. And if you've been watching these, I hope this holds all this. If you've been watching these debriefs, you know that the second board tends to get like really wild and crazy. Again, totally secret language that only Christine really gets, and I get it too. But I wanted you to just see kind of the scope of the stuff that we really started to lay out. So again, we started to workshop what some of her money projects are. What are some of those immediate things that she also wants to be paying attention to keep her business growing? Hi, Miranda. Yeah, oh, there you are. I knew you were there, but now I see your name showing up. Awesome. All right, cool. Yeah, the second boards are always like, whoa, they're always really intense. We also started to talk about some of the things that she's doing now and how to really refine those and to pick some of the things that she's working on now to truly become an expert in. So she does these awesome live streams every Wednesday, again, connecting with different people in her community, and she loves it. Like, it's just something that she does naturally. She also loves hosting these workshops. She's hosting monthly workshops within the community around branding, around marketing, around social media, and we just discussed how to really focus in on and practice and perfect those modalities. We also then explored kind of this idea that she's working on two things. She's got this more micro vision of her business in the short term, and then this bigger macro vision around bringing all of that into these larger forums and with peers in her group that she really works with. She admires and wants to teach. There's this spirit in her of wanting to teach and share with others. Finally, by the end of the conversation, we were kind of, really like, what could happen this week? And coming out of this week was actually a lot of reflective time, because Christine is an action taker. She has no problem taking action. And so if you've seen that image I've posted of the number line, and the positive 10 is action and the negative 10 is thought, I really wanted to kind of bring her back towards that thought piece and encourage her to set aside periods of reflection and slowing down, and to start to really be deliberate around what she wants to create moving forward. So she walked away with a could list assignment. She had her own insight that I said, she went off on it, describing it. And then I said, what 2 words should we put on your board so you remember this insight? And that was Vibe Tribe. So Vibe Tribe is like, secret code that Christine knows. And some additional lists that are going to really help her take what came up yesterday, because it's like we unpacked all of this stuff and bring it into how she wants to move forward, not only keeping in mind these longer term visions that she has, but also the shorter term, more strategic business practices that she wants to have in place to continue the growth now, while also aiming for these larger these larger projects, these larger visions that she has for the work she wants to do. So that was the latest whiteboard session. I have another one actually coming up today, and if you saw my post from yesterday, I kind of posted some of the different varieties of whiteboard sessions. I'm only opening up 6 spots in March, actually, so If you are at all curious about having a whiteboard session for yourself, please drop me a direct message. You can email me at allegra@allegrastein.com, or just leave a comment below on this video and I will reach out to you, because some amazing stuff is coming out of these, and I'd be thrilled to share it with you if you're interested to know more. Until then, any other questions, any other comments or insights that you have as a result of what I've had to share today, please leave them here and I'll follow up soon. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.